Metro Weather Watch, evening update for the Evansville metro area and surrounding tri-state communities, with meteorologist Nathan Kitchens.
Hello everyone, your evening update for Tuesday, March 7th is brought to you by Vinny's Auto Detail. Visit them at their Evansville and Mount Vernon, Indiana locations for high-quality window tinting and auto detailing at reasonable prices, and tell them that Metro Weather Watch sent you. We have a lot to talk about in your evening update. We're going to start off by taking a look at your almanac for today. Our high temperature made it up to 65. That actually occurred last night, just after midnight. We've seen temperatures holding in the 50s throughout the day today, and we reached our low right now of 51 degrees with the cooler air now pushing in. And again, another day with temperatures well above normal. And looking at precipitation, we had almost 1 inch of rain in Evansville, so some pretty hefty rainfall across the area last night and this morning. And we're doing pretty good on this rain department for the month so far. You know, January and February were both very dry months for Evansville, so it's good to see the precipitation really picking back up after what's been a pretty long dry spell. Obviously, we still have some more making up to do, but we are making progress here. We've already had over 2 inches and a third of rain this month, so we are off to a nice wet start to the month of March out there. And we had a very active evening yesterday to our west with severe weather. You know, last week our area certainly got hit very hard. Last night, the severe weather was aimed just a little bit further to our west as expected. Certainly quite a few tornado reports here, 41 tornado reports. We had 500 wind reports out of this and 151 hail reports. So very active to our west. But you can see our area thankfully missed out on the bulk of this. Again, the ingredients were less favorable here because we just didn't have really hardly any instability at the surface to work with. So the storms were in a gradually weakening state, but we still had a lot of wind shear and certainly a lot of wind energy. And you noticed that last night we had some pretty gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour in a few spots last night. So it was, again, a very windy night last night. And we've seen the skies clear out this afternoon behind the system, and now we're going to be looking at nice weather for the middle portion of your week. Great weather on Wednesday, a lot of sunshine. It's going to be a very breezy day. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s for a high. Thursday looks good with sunshine and upper 60s. We could flirt with 70 on Thursday, so just very nice spring-like weather out there. I wonder if some people might even be considering maybe mowing their grass for the first time this year. The lawns are greening up, the trees are blooming out. After all the warm weather and now the rain we've had, so you know, some people might get out there and maybe cut their grass. We'll see. We're going to see cooler weather coming in by Friday. We're going to see a strong front arriving from the north Thursday night. We'll see showers possible, and then Friday will be a much cooler day behind that front. Cooler air will start to ooze in from the north, just kind of continue to push in, and highs closer to 50. So we'll see about a 20-degree temperature drop from Thursday's high to Friday's high. And we have unseasonably cold temperatures looking pretty likely this weekend. And we have the chance to see some snow on Saturday. We're going to talk about that here shortly. And also a hard freeze is expected. Even without any snow, if we don't get any snow this weekend, we're still looking at a hard freeze. And that's bad news for the early vegetation. That's well ahead of schedule. So especially those fruit trees that are reaching stages now, that could be very problematic if we do get a very hard freeze. So that's just something we need to watch closely. And okay, Saturday snow chances. That's the big topic here. Certainly the models have trended south with the storm system, which means our area has a better shot now to get some more wintry weather, including a chance for some accumulating snow. But there's still a lot of question marks. There's still more questions than answers right now. So while some snow is looking possible, keyword possible, I didn't say certain, given the recent trends, there's still so much uncertainty because each time a new model run comes in, we keep seeing this shift a little bit further south with each run. And obviously if that shift continues, at some point that means parts of our area could be impacted by potentially not getting hardly any snow. If that system decides to get shoved a little bit further south, we have a very strong Arctic high that's coming down across the northeast, and that's what's kind of shoving the system and making that system dive a little more to the south of than what it looked like yesterday. But again, that could be good in the sense that our area could be more in the line for snow, but we'll have to watch how that track pans out on the models over the next couple of days. And we will know more tomorrow, so just be sure to check back. We should have a little bit better confidence tomorrow, and especially Thursday. That's when we should be able to really start pinning down things, if we're still tracking the storm system by that point. Hopefully we still are. Again, the concerns in this forecast, I want to mention concerns here right off the bat. We know the ground's going to be warm. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Near 70 Thursday, and just 2 days later, we're talking about snow chance. Temperatures at the air temperatures, I should say, and the boundary layer temperatures are going to be, pretty marginal as well. And with the bulk of precipitation falling during the daytime, that does lead to some concerns as far as how much can stick, given, we're in mid-March and the sun angle is quite strong, and that certainly will play a role with this falling during the daytime. But again, it's really all about the rates of the precipitation. If we can get some heavy precipitation, it doesn't matter how warm the ground is. It's going to stick and accumulate if it can fall hard enough and steady enough to overcome all those issues, which happens many times if you can get a decent storm system. So that is the possibility here, and why there is that chance. So again, a lot of questions in this forecast, but there is at least a chance for some snow on Saturday. So let's go right into the model data for you. The next couple of days look great. I already talked about that, so we'll move forward. A little rain Thursday night to early Friday. I just skipped forward there. But we're going to watch the system for Saturday, diving in kind of from northwest to east-southeast across the area. We're spreading a band of snow, so between about 6 and noon Saturday, it has that snow pushing through into the area from the west. So the GFS model at noon Saturday is showing that snow across the area. And as we go through the afternoon, it's indicating that the column will turn cold enough that our entire area will have a cold enough atmospheric column to produce some snow. And it's actually putting down the heaviest precipitation across western Kentucky. And this is where you get that dynamic cooling. So even with marginal temperatures at first, as that heavy precipitation comes down, it cools the column, and that's how you can get this to turn over to just all heavy snow. And right now the models are aiming a heavier band of precipitation actually to our south of Evansville, at least over western Kentucky. And the models again have been trending a little bit further south with each new run that comes in. And let me show you the run just a little bit. The run a little bit earlier had it a little bit further north, and the latest run's a little further south. So you can see how with these last two runs, how they keep continuing to go a little bit further south. So that's the run at noon today, or the morning run I should say, and this is the latest run, again a little bit further south. So we'll have to watch this track very closely, because obviously if that continues to get suppressed further south, then we could be talking about some of our area not getting any snow. So it's just a lot of uncertainty at this point. Looking at the Weather Prediction Center, the NOAA Weather Prediction Center, they have placed our area more in line with the potential for some snow and sleet accumulations on Saturday. They've been kind of trending us slowly with the model trends as we get closer. So we'll see how this trends over the next 24 hours with the new data that comes in. And showing you a couple more things here. Again, this is actually showing you the GFS model again, just kind of showing you ahead of that system that develops here on Saturday. We've got a strong Arctic high pressure in Canada that's kind of making its way down here across the Great Lakes and into the Ohio Valley. So as we go through Friday night, temperatures are going to continue to drop as this system begins to take shape to our west. And as we go through today, Saturday, that storm system kind of gets pushed in to the southeast, pushing through our area, and then continuing to kind of get pushed here to our south and east as we go through Saturday night and Sunday. And I do want to show you another model, the Canadian model. It's, let me get it on here. It's actually showing the system really being suppressed. So here's the system on Saturday, spreading some snow from Missouri through western Kentucky. But it actually has the Arctic high being so strong, that cold, dense air just kind of being like a wall and just pushing the system further to the south. And really it keeps a good part of our area completely dry on Saturday. So I don't think that we can ignore the solution, given the fact that the models have been, suppressing the system just a little bit more, and because the Canadian models have been showing us for a few days. I don't think we can just completely throw the solution out the window. I mean, I think it's something we need to monitor, given that Arctic high to the north, kind of helping to shove the system further south. Just how suppressed will the system be? That's the big question. But if the Canadians right, a good part of our area might actually miss out. So, I mean, we'll see how this trends again over the next 24 hours or so. Looking at the various ensembles of the GFS model, you can see there are still quite a few varying solutions. Some are still further north than the operational run. Certainly a lot of showing an interesting look for our area for snow this weekend. But the trend continues to be south here. So we'll have to continue to watch this as we, of course, go through the next couple of days. And another thing I will mention as well is I've noticed on some of the ensembles actually trending a little bit weaker with the system too. Some are showing more of a weak wave, especially on the European model data. The ensemble showing a weaker wave versus a more wound up system. So there's still a lot of question marks on the strength of this wave and how much precipitation we're actually going to see move through our area during this time. So let's give this one more time to kind of marinate in the model data, if you will. I do think by tomorrow we'll have a better idea of how this will be playing out. So snow lovers, there's no reason to get, I think it's still early to get excited because we know things can still change. It's very early, but no reason to get disappointed either with the model data. We've just got to trend this as we get closer. We'll know more tomorrow, and especially by Thursday night. We should have a pretty good idea of how this is going to pan out for our area. So again, perhaps a little bit of wintry mischief out there this weekend as the winter kind of makes its last blow across the area. So we'll just kind of see how this trends on the models, and just keep it here for the very latest. We're watching this closely, and we'll keep you updated on how this looks as we go through the day on Wednesday. So thank you all for watching your evening update, and have a good night.